In the previous lesson, I briefly mentioned the project management ecosystem. In this lesson, we will explore the ecosystem prevalent in most project-driven organizations. We will observe how the benefits derived from a project-based ecosystem delivers much greater value than individual projects. Multiple projects that are related to each other are usually rolled into an entity called as a program. Why do we do this? The reason to do so is to get the benefits and control which are otherwise not available from managing projects individually, such as within resource management and in cost benefits. In the same way, multiple programs can then be rolled into a portfolio. Projects, programs, and portfolios can exist in any combination. Here you see a clean and symmetric roll-up hierarchy. In this next example, we see a different arrangement. Here we have a program with projects and also other individual projects without a program, all rolled into a portfolio. This is also a perfectly valid arrangement. In the final example, we see a program with constituent projects and also individual projects existing independently without any portfolio. Now, in the big picture, you can see that any meaningful combination is possible. The operations, which you can see at the bottom of the figure, can support or influence any of the projects, programs, or portfolios, and vice versa too. Moreover, any of the projects or programs could include products offered by the company. Notice I said products. Now, a quick side note. It is very important to understand that a portfolio is not a large project. Many people make this misunderstanding. Rather, a very large project is called a mega project. You will no doubt have heard this term quite often. So how do we identify a mega project? As a rule of thumb, mega projects are budgeted at $1 billion USD or more, or they may affect 1 million people or more, or they might run for many years. Anyway, you get the idea what mega projects are. Now, let's see an example to better understand this relationship of projects, programs, and portfolio. I have chosen Microsoft for the organization because we are all very familiar with Microsoft products. Office Suite or Office 365 is a portfolio. Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Project, Outlook, and so on are programs that churn out new versions and avatars every year. For example, the desktop apps, web apps, mobile apps, and so on. Observe that these programs support their respective namesake products. Within each of these programs are multiple projects that are churning out new features. One of the projects is working on the latest AI-enabled support feature. Another project is working on cloud support, and so on. Now, there is another portfolio for operating systems offered by Microsoft, and the key program is Windows 11. Again, notice this would be a very large program with hundreds of projects being executed simultaneously. Finally, notice that there is a separate program called Copilot, which is being run independently without any portfolio. In the future, when another related product is launched, everything might get rolled into a new portfolio. And these are operations which will deal with the manufacturing, distribution, license management, and so on. As an exercise, I want you to visualize the structure within any one different Fortune 500 company, for example, Apple, Google, Tesla, Oracle, Amazon, and you have to build out the hierarchy similar to this. Post your design in the Q&A section of this course. How an organization decides to build and govern its value delivery system depends upon multiple factors. Let's compare some of these factors between projects, programs, and portfolios so you will get a very deeper understanding. The first factor is scope. Projects have predefined scope. Scope in a project is progressively elaborated during the project lifecycle. Program scope covers all the component projects that it is made of. Outcomes are designed in a program to be synergistic. Portfolios, on the other hand, have organizational scope with strategic objectives. Okay. The second factor is change. Both projects and programs expect, manage, and control changes. Programs will try to minimize risk and impact by optimally sharing all type of resources amongst the projects. Portfolio managers have a much broader perspective and view changes in the external environments like government regulations, industry, and market trends. The third factor is planning. Planning for a single project is typically elaborated progressively. This is a term that you are going to come across frequently. That is, planning gets more elaborated as we go further into the design. However, at a program level, the interdependencies amongst different projects are planned together. And at a portfolio level, planning is largely strategic and aligned with the company's vision and mission. The fourth factor is management. Projects are run by project managers, then we have program managers and portfolio managers. That is for management. The next factor is monitoring. Monitoring at a project level involves the work of producing products, services, or results as per project objective. At a program level, monitoring involves cross-project benefits, goals, and schedules. At the portfolio level, monitoring involves aggregation of organization-wide resource allocation and performance, strategic changes, profit and loss, etc. Next factor is success. Project level success is measured by product quality, timeliness, budget compliance, and customer satisfaction, to name a few. Program level success is measured by component project's efficiency and effectiveness. Portfolio level success is measured by aggregated investments performance and organization-wide benefits that is realized. These factors are of course not the complete list, but these are the most common factors used by organizations. If you understand these factors, it will help you understand the dynamic nature of an organization's value delivery system. We will not address programs and portfolios anymore in this course, very less, and this much is sufficient for your PMP exam perspective. We will, however, continue our focus on project management. So in the next lesson, we will explore the project life cycle and see you there next.